driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day. A nice, bright, sunshiny day. I'm just spouting out lyrics from Bright, Sunshiny. Gonna be a bride. Anyway, I am up. I'm awake. And here we are. We're going to talk about the voices that, the two little voices that like to play around in our head. And you guys know what I'm talking about. That's what's so cool. I can put these little things up, and my people know what I'm talking about already. And that's part of fellowship and being able to connect with each other, right? So if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, or maybe it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you are needing this. Who knows? I put these out, and God does with them what he wants to do. Yeah, I have no control over it. I do, but I don't. So, that looks kind of cool. That's kind of freaky looking. All right. And of course, you could always leave and not say hello. Sorry. I really wish that number wasn't up there. I fucking hate it. I'm gonna see if I can get rid of it. I like the time, but I don't like the number. All right. So let's talk about the two little voices in our head, right? You know what they are. I call them the angry ducks. They're ducks. I do a lot of things around ducks, like Odd Duck. It's like I don't know if you remember in Disney when Daffy, no, Donald's with Disney. Daffy's with Looney Tunes. Yeah, I think I have them with both of them. Who knows? No, it was him. Remember when he made the egg disappear and it wouldn't come back? Nobody's listening right now. I'm talking about what I want. Anyway, they'd always have these ducks on their shoulders, right? Good duck and bad duck. No, go ahead, do it. Do the bad thing. And then you'd have the good one. No, just be nice to people and and it can get very confusing, right? Because sometimes what the bad duck says actually makes sense to us, right? And these are the opposites. So let's think about this for a little bit. What are some of our opposites here? Being sober, not being sober. Okay, a big one is faith. So let's say we have doubt and we have faith. Okay. The thing is, those two things are still going to work. Doubt doesn't stop you from faith. Doubt is actually a way to faith. So what is the opposite of faith? Blame is the opposite of faith, right? When we're blaming other people. It's hard for me to have faith in God when I'm blaming other people. I cannot do that. They cannot live together. Okay, so if you're in doubt right now, you may be in faith. Okay? These little words, they always count for something, right? So if we're out there doubting ourselves, that means we have a conscience. Okay, so the opposite of faith is blame, not doubt. I think that's some pretty cool stuff. I learned that from somebody else. This is not new stuff, guys. I do not reinvent the wheel. I listen to a lot of other stuff, and what I think is valid and makes very good sense for us, I bring it back to us. I saw that from Stephen Furtick, right? And it makes a lot of sense. It did to me because I thought that doubt was the opposite of faith, and I was wrong because that makes sense. When I am in doubt, I am searching for my faith. That is something that's automatic for me now. Now, what about that good duck? Man, that good duck can cause just as much harm as the other duck. It's about living a balanced life. It's about coming into agreement with the things around you that you don't agree with. Okay? Like I'm a big supporter of LGBTQ, and I'll tell you why. Because all of my life I have felt put aside and put away. My masculinity's always been at play, right? Which I think is just, I don't know what that, I never understood how masculinity equals sex. That I can't comprehend that. It's not, so I don't get what they're talking about. What I feel around it is I can empathize with what they're going through. I'm going to tell you something, it fucking hurts. It does. When I interview and I talk to people that are gay, I don't know. I don't even know if that's a bad word. So if it is, please let me know, and I'll work on changing it. I don't find it to be a bad. It's not a bad word in my vocabulary. Um, I can feel it, and I empathize with that loneliness. So what is the good duck, man? Well, the good duck empathizes but never sympathizes. Right? So empathy is understanding somebody else's feeling and being a part of that with them. Sympathy is just going all in. You might as well be a therapist, do a lot of sympathy in the beginning, where they just agree with you. Yeah, that sucks. I would hate it if that happened to me, right? A lot of reiteration, things like that. But then they make this switch, okay? All the good ones do anyway. They make this switch over to empathy now that we have some trust going, right? But sympathy for us is bad because we can go all in on that. Now we're not being a part of their solution. We are adding to their problem. Because sympathy is just an overpouring amount of emotion that maybe has gone too far. So let's dig into the daily reflection and kind of see what it has to say today. Trusting others. But does trust require that we blind to other people's motives or indeed to our own? No, not at all. This would be folly. Yeah, no. No, we don't. As God's children, we stand on our own 2 feet. Yes. Most certainly, we should assess the good capacity. Most certainly, we should assess the capacity for harm as well as the capability for good in every person that we trust. Such a private inventory can reveal the degree of confidence we should extend in any given situation. So in other words, utilizing what you have gone through to help somebody else. And it can be very, very private. There are certain things about me that I don't reveal to other people unless I absolutely need to. Okay? And even then, I may talk to God about it first. But for the most part, I'm an open book. But that doesn't mean I'm going to run around and tell everybody my business. Not only that, but everybody doesn't want to know my business. Who the hell do I think I am running around thinking that everybody wants to be in my business? That's pretty egotistical. So page 144, blind trust. Most surely there can be no trust where there is no love. nor can there be real love where distrust holds its malign sway. But does trust require that we be blind to other people's motives? We already read that part. However, this inventory needs to be taken in spiritual understanding of love. Nothing can so much bias our judgment as the negative emotions of suspicion, jealousy, or anger. Yeah, those are killers, man. All right. Once you get into suspicion and jealousy, whatever it is that's going on is done. You have already gone too far. Okay. So I work with a lot of different people, and it can feel lonely, believe it or not. Or you're moving ahead on one and you start to feel out of the loop out of the other. Okay. So it's okay to communicate with these people about trust. There's one area I was feeling a little out of the loop. I sent them a message. I said, hey, I know it's not you, it's my head, but I'm feeling out of the loop. And they sent me back, so no, of course you're not. Yeah, it's in your head. Okay. I'm like, thank you for affirming that for me. I appreciate it. I know it's me. And we had a good little laugh over it. All right. But then I got to get it settled no matter what. I knew it was in my head. Okay. But I still had to reach out to somebody else and make sure that it was in my head. So I asked the right person the right way. Right. And then it was settled. Then I was able to move on and do what I needed to do. Right. No suspicion, no jealousy. It doesn't need to be there. If it does start entering it, because I've gotten caught up in it in the last 6 months. And if you see it, you gotta get the fuck out, man. Get out immediately. Immediately meaning right away. Having vested our confidence in another person, we ought to let him know of our full support. Because of this, more often than not, he will respond magnificently and far beyond our first expectations. Absolutely. And this is one that actually gets me. Okay. It has to do with sober livings and the way that a lot of people are treating people right now. Oh, I'm not your sponsor anymore. Oh, I'm not your recovery coach anymore. Oh, I'm not. No. Okay, well, I'm just going to cut you off. No. I remember when I first started recovery coaching, I had a client and they relapsed and they ran from me, man. They ran from me and I went and I tracked that. I tracked him down. That's what we do, guys. I went and tracked his ass down. And I don't know what happened to him, but the conversation was this. Well, Dion, I was afraid to talk to you because I was afraid you were going to be mad at me. And I told him, you know what? I did you a disservice and I should have let you know that even if you did relapse, I was still here. So I learned something from that. So now when I work with new people, I tell them, I'm a lifer, man. That means that if you hook up with me, it's for life. Unless you decide to go a different route and dump me to the side, then great, go ahead. Hey? It doesn't matter to me. I'm just doing what it is that I need to do. Period. But when somebody comes to me and says, hey, Dion, will you be my sponsor? I'm not thinking a year. I'm not thinking 2 years. I'm thinking I'm going to know this person the rest of my life. That is my anticipation, not my expectation. But it is my anticipation. So, all right, I got 30 seconds to finish this up. I am not a victim of others, but rather a victim of my expectations, my choices, and my dishonesty. Yes. And what's the great news on that? You can change it. I love it when I'm the problem, because when I'm the problem, I can change that. When I expect others to be what I want them to be and not who they are. When they fail to meet my expectations, I am hurt. And don't have them. It's kind of like when you had an owie and you're like, it hurts when I touch it, Mom. And your mom said, then don't touch it. Same. This is the same thing. I'm running up to the door, holding it open for a pretty lady, hoping she says thank you, and she doesn't, and you get all hurt. What were your expectations? What were your intentions? When my choices are made on self-centeredness, I find I am lonely and distrustful. Yes, when I am in my head and I have self-pity, I am untrustworthy. I gain confidence in myself, however, when I practice honesty in all my affairs. When I search for my motives and I'm honest and trusting, I'm aware of the capacity for harm in situation can avoid these. Okay. And that, okay, that is a huge thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to take 2 more minutes here. That is a huge thing. Okay. Let's go back to that. Hold on. When I search my motives and I'm honest and trusting, okay. Now I run a business and I constantly need to think of the people that work with me, for me, around me. Okay. Even when somebody that works with me talks to another person, that is something that I need to know is okay. Right. Okay. Because we can get into a place, sometimes we can get into a place where we think that we're doing well, but we don't stop to check our motives and our intentions and to see what's actually happening around there. Instead, we just keep going and we cause more harm, not even knowing that we're doing it because we won't stop. We won't stop for 30 seconds and say, is what I am doing correct? Is it the right thing? And being honest with yourself. Because I'm going to tell you, 80% of the time you're wrong. Love you guys. Peace out. And